So NS&I have finally announced an increase to the prize rate for premium bonds. We've been waiting 18 months since the last change. It's sat at 1% since December 2020. And although for, I'd say, a good 12, 13, 14 months of that time, premium bonds, that prize rate of 1% they had was probably, for most people, much better than you're going to get in easy access accounts. Over the last few months, that has not been the case because we've seen from the Bank of England a succession of interest rate increases, base rate increases. And that has meant that other easy access accounts have started to push up what they offer us as punters. In fact, even above all of that, beyond those rates, Chase Bank, as you know, they offer 1.5% on their easy access savings account. A big part of that is from a sort of a marketing push that they put like I'm a loss leader, really put money in to get customers on board. But the fact that you could get 1.5% has meant that the 1% prize rate hasn't been that appealing. Well, the good news is from June 2022 draw, and for every draw after that, every single month until perhaps they change the rate again, the premium bond prize rate is going to be 1.4%. So a decent increase there, a significant increase. But does that mean you should be putting your money back into premium bonds if you took them out to put them into some of those higher pay interest accounts? Or should you start putting money in for the first time because you're thinking, hey, I like the idea of that? Well, let's explain very quickly a few things here. I've got loads of other videos on premium bonds, which I will link to below and throughout this video. So you might want to watch those afterwards to give you a bit more context. I'm going to focus here on this 1.4% and how it compares to savings accounts. But some very, very brief context first of all. A premium bond is effectively a savings account that you're getting from the government. NS&I is part of the government, National Savings and Investments. So the money you hold with them is protected by the government up to 50k. Okay, so that's nice and secure. There's a good place for your money. It's solid in there. It's only going to fail if the government fails. Okay, so with fingers crossed that's not going to happen. There's more problems if that is the case. Any returns you get from premium bonds are tax-free as well. Now, although, as I've spoken about before, there are lots of ways to not pay tax on your interest, whether that's in a cash ISA or because of your personal savings allowance. For some people, premium bonds and any NS&I product reflects quite a nice way to kind of stash your cash and keep all of that return without paying any tax. So that's effectively what they are. They cost £1. Every bond is £1, and effectively it is a lottery ticket, if you like, into this prize draw, where prizes vary from £25, that's the smallest prize, all the way up to £1 million. Now it's very, very, very unlikely that you're going to get £1 million. Like really unlikely. There are two £1 million prizes every single month, but if you win anything at all, and we'll come back to that, it's more likely to be just 25 quid. You also can only buy them in batches at a minimum of £25. You can't just buy one bond, you have to buy at least 25 bonds. So let's talk quickly about this increased prize rate, exactly what that means. Well, the good news, it means there's a much higher chance that you'll win some money, and there's also a chance that the amount of money you'll win would also increase. Okay, so you're more likely to win and more likely to win more. The odds of winning have increased from 34,500 to 1 to 24,500 to 1. The prize fund will also increase. That has jumped up from just over £98 million every single month to £138 million every single month. So an extra £40 million worth of prizes. Again, so higher chance you'll win a prize. And if you do win a prize, a higher chance that maybe you'll get a larger prize as well. Although realistically, most people, you're still looking at that £25 prize. Just more of those are available. But there is a chance you could get more. Or you get more £25 prizes. Of course, there is a chance you get £50, £100, £500, £1,000, £5,000, £10,000, £25,000, £50,000, £100,000, or those £1 million prizes as well. So there's a chance you can win any of those kind of prizes, but most likely £25. However, what's really important thing to remember here with premium bonds is 1.4% doesn't mean that if you put in £1,000, you'll get £10.40 back. You can't possibly do that, can you? If the minimum prize is 25 quid, you can't win £10.40. And in fact, really, if you think about it like that, for not quite the same, but if you're £1,000 and someone else has £1,000, then one of you will get £25 and the other one will get nothing. In fact, it's probably more likely three of you, but you know what, you get the gist of it, okay? There's a very, very, very good chance you'll walk away with nothing, even at this increased rate of 1.4%. Just as it was with 1% rate. And a big kind of factor as well, contributory factor into how much, if you win at all, is how many of these bonds you have. Now, I don't have the new number. This has just been announced right now today, what this new prize rate is. So the fantastic premium bonds calculator on the Money Saving Expert website hasn't been updated yet at the time of recording this. But in the past, that's been really, really useful to work out, right, based on your average rate of luck, how much money you have saved in premium bonds, what you would expect to win on average rate of luck. You could get more, you could get less. Now, what was really interesting about this for the 1% rate, and it will be the same for the 1.4% rate, is that it's hardly anyone will actually get that headline rate. The closer you get to that full £50,000, remember, the more tickets you have effectively, more bonds you have, more entries into this draw every month, the higher your chance of getting any kind of prize. But if you have closer to that full £50,000, then you might get closer, previously closer to 1% and now closer to 1.4%. The less you have, that percentage drops down more and more and more. And actually it gets to a kind of a level, previously it was around £1,000, and I imagine it'd be around a similar amount now, where you probably wouldn't win anything at all. You probably wouldn't even get a £25 prize rate, okay? So you needed to have a decent amount of money in there. Now, I will update, when I do my savings update for June in just a few weeks, I will give you, hopefully those numbers have been updated, I can give you some full kind of comparison of exactly how much you've got, what the average rate of luck means you will win. But right now, let's just assume that you are not going to get that 1.4% rate on your return. Doesn't matter how much you have, even at full 50k, it's unlikely you'll get that. This will be obviously for every individual. When I did a whole video very recently looking at a year of premium bonds, having 10k in premium bonds for a year at the 1% prize rate, I was expecting to get 3 prizes of £25. So that would have been a 0.75% return, which at the time was pretty good. But that's what I was expecting to get. So again, a significant amount down from that 1% prize rate. What I actually got was 1%. I've got 4 £25 prizes worth £100. So that was, I was probably luckier than normal. Well, that would have meant that someone didn't reach that, okay? But it worth in mind. So you possibly, yes, you could get 1.4%. You could get more than that. You could get £1 million. You could get £100,000. But most likely is you will get, less than somewhere, depending on how much you earn, somewhere between 0 and I would guess, I hazard a guess right now, between 1.3, 1.35%, maybe 1.4%. On average, luck, you won't get that. Now that's really, really important, because let's now compare that to the best savings accounts right now. As I mentioned at the top, that is from Chase Bank. That's still Chase Bank, 1.5% on an easy access account. That 1.5% is guaranteed. That is nailed on. You will get that. It doesn't matter if you've got £10 in there or the full 250k in there, you will get that 1.5% back. For a lot of people, that is more important. To be nailed on, to know exactly, yes, I will get something back from my money. Now, there is always an argument with premium bonds, and I've made this argument myself, that the rates are still relatively low. Despite the increase, despite the movements everywhere, rates are still quite low. And you might feel, for the sake of, a guaranteed extra, let's say it's 30 quid, maybe. That's where you might have worked out the difference based on how much you had saved. It was equivalent of 30 quid more. You might go, I don't mind paying 30 quid on the chances are that potentially I'll get the same, maybe I'll get a lot more, maybe I'll get a bit less. You might like to enter it almost in the same way you would instead of buying a lottery ticket, because at least that money is still yours. It's still there at the end of the day. You're not giving it to Camelot. That is something that still could hold true right now. You might still think, okay, yeah, I could get more money there, but I quite like the idea of, seeing what happens. Giving it a punt, see if I win big, or seeing if you just come out, with a slightly better average rate of luck than everybody else. You can still do that. However, we need to look at then what the other accounts, what else is going on. There's another variable. We've got one variable talked about is obviously how much you have saved. That affects your likely prize rate, your more real return you're going to get. But the other variable is the fact that we likely see more increased rates to the base rate of interest from the Bank of England this year. It's likely to go up again. No guarantee. Everything's so uncertain, but it does look like with inflation currently at 9%, that we will continue to see some of these increases as the year goes on. Speculation that maybe it could get from current rate of 1% up to 1.75% or 2% by the end of this year, and maybe even go higher in 2023. If that happens, if we do see those increases, then you would imagine we'd also see those easy access accounts continue to push up the return that they give. And although Chase is sitting there at the top at 1.5%, we've already got a Chase in pack 1.3%, 1.25% following the most recent increases. You would imagine that they would also try and pass that on, because it's very competitive right now. They're trying to get as many customers as they can into the bank. They're struggling to catch up with Chase, who are putting a lot of their own sort of marketing budget into there. But let's say Chase don't increase it. They might even increase it even more. If people start catching them up, they might put more money into their rate. Other banks might start coming through, might surpassing that, getting to 1.5%, getting above that. Well, that's even more places where you're guaranteed your money is going to be better than the average rate of luck from premium bonds. And yes, NS&I could announce another increase. They may well decide that they waited all this time to pass it on, 6 months this time since the first base rate increase happened. They wait that to push this up. They might wait another 6 months. They might wait a year. They might do it in a couple of months. Just don't know right now. But as things currently stand, you are going to be guaranteed still, even with this increase in premium bonds price rate, you're going to be guaranteed a better return with Chase Bank. And a number of banks just below that, at the time of recording this, 1.31% with Al Rayyan, 1.3% with Gatehouse, 1.25% with Tandem, 1.2% with Coventry Building Society. All of them also potentially ethical alternatives to Chase as well, if that's something you're concerned about. They all could come in, depending on how much you saved in premium bonds, as we say, and your average rate of luck. Even now, they could be coming in with the same return as you get with premium bonds. And if they increase, then they're going to be much more sort of a more secure, more guaranteed return as well. So as I said, I will do in a few weeks my June savings update. And in that, I will break down for you, hopefully, exactly how much you have saved in premium bonds, what the average rate of luck is as a percentage rate, so you can get a real comparison of that to alternative savings accounts. You can really kind of work out maybe what you'd be giving up in return for being in a chance of maybe winning really, really big. Let me know in the comments below what you've done with your premium bonds. Did you get rid of them when interest rates started to improve elsewhere? Have you held fast? Or are you thinking about now the rates improve that you'll save your money with them? I'd love to know your thoughts. My name is Andy Webb, and do check out these videos for more on your savings.